Hey folks, welcome to Shooting Up North. I'm your host, Louis Carlin, or her right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching for the first time, please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm on Twitter at Shooting Up North, Instagram at Alliance PW Network, and feel free to join our Facebook group, The Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. And don't forget to check out my articles on PW Mania. Check out all the articles on PW Mania. It's the number one source for the professional wrestling fan. Covers WWE, covers AEW, covers Impact, of course. I make sure that MLW, Independence, just check them out. Check us out, pwmania.com. Okay, so I'm back. I took a few days off. I just want to take a little break, recharge a little bit. But I'm back. I'm back. I know I said I was going to return on Sunday with the podcast, but I figured, hey, I'm ready to go. It's Saturday and I'm ready to go. So let's get into it. This is Shooting Up North's Impact Wrestling Weekend Talk with me, Louis Carlin. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to start talking about is Deonna Purrazzo, her contract coming up at the end of this year. It's November 5th. There was an article, reports that came out on various websites that in September actually came out that Deonna Purrazzo was starting to have contract negotiations with Impact Wrestling. And that was 2 months ago. We're now November 5th, and there's been no talk of a deal. There's been no confirmation of a new deal for Purrazzo, and we're getting very, very close to the end of 2022. We have less than 2 months to go, so Impact Wrestling cannot let Purrazzo go. She's one of the best wrestlers in the world today. That female wrestler is one of the best wrestlers in the world today. And she is an integral part of the Impact Wrestling roster. And they can't let her go. They have to give her whatever she wants. They have to keep up. They have to keep Deonna Purrazzo in Impact Wrestling. I know there's going to be interest from AEW. I know there's going to be interest from the WWE, but Impact Wrestling, I know the Good Brothers, there was no shot of keeping them. It's obvious that they wanted to go back to the WWE, hence they went back to the WWE and rejoin AJ Styles. Hey, I do remember when they first signed with Impact Wrestling that they actually did say that they were going to work on getting AJ Styles to join them in Impact Wrestling, but I guess that didn't happen. It's the other way around. Impact Wrestling lost them and they rejoined AJ Styles in the WWE. But anyway, we're not going to go into that. We're talking about Deonna Purrazzo, and they can't let her go, man. She's just too good. I don't know. I know she had a bad experience in the WWE, but with the new regime there now, with the Triple H regime in full effect there, there might be interest in her part to, hey, maybe I'll give it another go. I know Chelsea Green, there's been interest in bringing Chelsea Green back, and I know I was reading reports that Mia Yim also they're interested in bringing her back as well. But I'm sure if Peraza became available, Britt Baker, her best buddy in AEW. I shouldn't do quotes. I think they are best friends, but I'm sure Britt Baker would try to do whatever she could to convince Tony Khan to bring Peraza into AEW. But Impact Wrestling can't let her go. I mean, you lost Mia Yim, you lost Chelsea Green, you can't lose Deonna Purrazzo. Again, you cannot lose Deonna Purrazzo. She's just too damn good. One of the best wrestlers in the world. And it's good to have someone like that on your roster because she can not that she can, but she makes everybody she steps into the ring with look better than they are. Even if they're terrific, like a Masha Slamovich, Purrazzo makes them look even better. And she's a tremendous, tremendous talent. And it's very, very important, extremely important that Impact Wrestling does not let Purrazzo slip away. I'm nervous. I'm looking at I was seeing September 12th is Perazo to have contract negotiations with Impact Wrestling. Have they started yet? Have the contract negotiations started yet? This was 2 months ago. This was almost 2 months ago. Even here in August, update on Impact Wrestling's on the Impact Wrestling contract of Deonna Purrazzo. let's go. Let's get this going. Impact. Let's not try to pinch pennies here. Okay, not with Purrazzo. Not with Purrazzo. You lost a lot of really good talent over money in the past. You didn't give them what they wanted. As per Willie Mack, I'm going by Willie Mack. Willie Mack mentioned that, and you kind of think that that's kind of the case with Jake Something and Rohit Raju as well. That they felt they were worth this, but they were offered that, and they decided to part ways. Willie Mack actually came out and actually said that was the reason. It all came down to money. But don't pinch pennies with Purrazzo. Give her what she wants. Negotiate a good deal with Purrazzo. Lock her up for another 3 years, and then lock up Steve Macklin, her boyfriend, her fiance. I don't think they've got married yet. Her fiance, Steve Macklin. Lock them both up together for another 3 years. But yeah, they can't. They can't let Purrazzo go. They can't let Purrazzo go at all. Speaking of free agents, MLW, arguably the greatest tag team in the history of MLW, Marshall and Ross Von Erich. Their contracts are actually coming due in June of 2023, so they have about 8 months left. They haven't been on MLW shows for some time. I think the last time was May. Last show they were on. I have it here. May 13th, they lost a triple threat match to the current tag team champions, Calvin Tankman, EJ and Duca, defeated them, and Hernandez and Rivera, 51-50. So they haven't been on an MLW show since May, and they were taking care of family business, so they took some time off. But their contract is up in June of 2023. The Von Erichs would be a perfect perfect, perfect signing for Impact Wrestling. They're a natural tag team. They're a legit tag team. They can come right in right away and add so much credibility to the Impact Wrestling tag team roster. Impact Wrestling should be thinking about June 2023 and how they could get the Von Erichs to come over to Impact Wrestling, because them going back to MLW is not set in stone. Actually, I did an article about this for PW Mania, so I'm reading off my article because it's my article. little wink there, but I did an article about this. Not about Impact Wrestling, but that their contract is expiring in 2023. But I should do an opinion piece also about how I think Impact Wrestling should go after them. But this was just a news piece on their contract expiring. And it's not a lock. Like I said, it's not a lock that they're going to be returning to MLW. It says Marshall and I wrote Marshall and Ross discussed possible destinations such as AEW, WWE, Japan, or remain with MLW. So Marshall Von Erich said, "We're going to see how the cards unfold." And this interview was done by I want to give them credit, the Two-Man Power Trip of Wrestling podcast. So Marshall said, "We're going to see how the cards unfold. Now we're definitely open to anything, open to staying with MLW, opening to AEW, WWE, or any promotion that will offer us. Maybe go back to Japan. We're open to anything. I'm not going to say absolutely not to anything, but right now we're getting some dates nailed down. I can't confirm anything yet because I'm still talking to promoters and working out flights and stuff. We want to do a come back to the States, and want to try to land everywhere and do some shows everywhere just to get our name out there, get our name back out there, and let people know we're still doing our thing." This was actually transcribed by Post Wrestling. So yeah, so they're open to what did Ross have to say? So Ross had this to say, maybe show some love back to everyone that showed us love, because if we do hypothetically sign some contract and we're not able to do these things, we're always gonna give we're always going to have such good memories of the indie scene. So we just want to really get that out of our system, I guess. So they're saying that they're open to anything. They're open to anything. Now, personally, I think they'll get lost in the shelf in AEW. I don't know about the WWE. I think Impact Wrestling would be a perfect. Japan would be a good promotion for them. They would do well in Japan, but I think Impact Wrestling would be a terrific promotion for the Von Erichs. I can see the Von Erichs winning the Impact Wrestling World Tag Team titles almost immediately. The Von Erichs against the Motor City Machine Guns. The Von Erichs against, if they brought Aussie Open back for a few more dates, Von Erichs against Aussie Open. The Von Erichs against Chris Bay and Ace Austin would be a terrific match, and I'm sure by then they'll have some other tag teams. They could bring in the West Coast Wrecking Crew, Jarrell Nelson or Royce Isaacs. They could have a great feud with the Von Erichs. So 2023, when they become free agents, Impact Wrestling should strongly consider signing Marshall and Ross Von Erich. Strongly consider signing it. And when you sign them, you also have Kevin Von Erich as well, the legend Kevin Von Erich. You can bring him back occasionally, but when you have dates in Texas, because of course the Von Erich's huge in Texas. When you have dates in Texas, you could bring Kevin Von Erich back to walk them to the aisle or to be their manager or special enforcer or what have you. So I think it'll be a very important signing. It would be a very good signing, a very important signing, and it would really add so much credibility, in my opinion, to the Impact Wrestling tag team roster. The Von Erichs, the longest reigning MLW tag team champions. Also, you could argue that they're the greatest MLW tag team champions of all time, or tag team period of all time. So again, Scott D'Amore, June 2023. You should I think it's June 1st, 2023. You should mark that date down on your calendar and get ready to prepare an offer for Ross and Marshall Von Erich. And I mentioned the Motor City Machine Guns. They actually won last week the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Tag Team titles. They defeated Aussie Open. It was a three-team match. It was Kevin Knight and the DKC also involved in that match. It was in New York. Rumble on 44th Street, and but Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin are the new Impact, the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Tag Team Champions. So congratulations! I hope they defend the titles. Hope they defend the titles in Impact Wrestling. I think that'll be very, very exciting. I would love to see Aussie Open chase them in Impact Wrestling, but Aussie Open right now is in Japan. I believe they're going to be part of the New Japan Pro Wrestling Tag League, 2022 Tag League. They haven't announced the teams yet. Aussie Open in Japan now. They were part of the show this morning. The Battle Autumn. Sorry, just forgot the name of the show there for a second. So it was a final show on the Battle Autumn Tour, and Aussie Open were on it. They were part of an 8-man tag match in which they were victorious. They got the win for their team, and I think they're gonna be sticking around in Japan throughout Tag League. So I think they're gonna be there for another month or two. But nonetheless, I think this Machine Guns are just holding the belts for them. Once Tag League is over, I think Aussie Open is going to come back and win those belts back. But I'd like to see Motor City Machine Gun have a nice, maybe 2, 3, maybe even 4-month run as a New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Tag Team Champions. And again, I would love for them to come to Impact Wrestling and defend the titles in Impact Wrestling, either against like Chris Bay, Ace Austin, or the West Coast Wrecking Crew. Bring them in, man. They should really bring those guys in, and the Ross Isaacs and Jarrell Nelson. They would be awesome in Impact Wrestling. But Machine Guns and the West Coast Wrecking Crew actually had a match. West Coast Pro independent promotion in San Francisco. They had a match which was fantastic a few months back. But that would be a great feud. That would be a great feud. I think there's a number 1 contenders match coming up. They might have had it already. I know the West Coast Wrecking Crew were involved in that. If it hasn't happened already, I hope they win. If it has happened, I should check the results and see if the West Coast Wrecking Crew are the number 1 contenders for the New Japan Pro Wrestling Show Openweight. I don't think the match happened yet, actually. I think it was announced. But I would love to see, nonetheless, I would love to see the West Coast Wrecking Crew coming into Impact Wrestling and chasing the Motor City Machine Guns for the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Tag Team titles. Even Kevin Knight and the DKC, great young team there. Wouldn't mind to see them in Impact Wrestling, either going after those titles. But nonetheless, congratulations, Motor City Machine Guns, New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Tag Team champions. You guys deserved it, and hope you have a hope. Like I said, I don't see them holding it for more than 4 or 5 months. I know Aussie Open will be back, but I like to see them defend the belts and have a good 4 or 5 month run as the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Tag Team title holders. Two more quick things. Want to congratulate Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander became the third longest reigning Impact Wrestling World Champion, surpassing Johnny Impact. I was going to pull up the post here. Let's make sure I get it right. Johnny Impact held the title for 196 days. Josh Alexander today on November 5th has held the title for 197 days. So congratulations, Josh Alexander, for becoming the third longest reigning Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion of all time. Right now, he's looking up at number 2 is AJ Styles at 211 days. So he only has a few more days to go to catch AJ Styles. Then you got Bobby Roode at 256 days. So I think the idea here is, or the plan, I should say, is to make Josh Alexander the longest reigning Impact Wrestling World title holder of all time. I think that's why they're showing this. When he became number 4, when he passed Sting, Sting was at 189 days. When Josh Alexander hit 190 days, Impact Wrestling, posted on this, and now they posted 187 days. I think the plan is to make him the longest reigning Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion of all time. I do believe he's going to pass Bobby Roode. It'll be quite an accomplishment, but we'll see if that actually happens. That's what I'm thinking. And I think that's the plan, and I'm going to be following this actually closely because this is big stuff. If he becomes the longest reigning Impact Wrestling World Champion, that's huge. That's huge for Josh Alexander. And when you talk about the greatest Impact Wrestling stars of all time, Josh Alexander's name has to be involved in that conversation. So again, congratulations, Josh Alexander. And last but not least, here is the updated card for Overdrive, which is November 18th in Kentucky, Old Forester's Paris Town Hall. The main event, of course, Josh Alexander defending the Impact Wrestling World Championship against Frankie Kazarian, who cashed in option C. We have they listed the tournament final here for the vacant X Division championship. I'm not going to give out the names, but the tournament final for the vacant Impact Wrestling X Division championship will be determined. Will be fought at let's start over the new because I'm contemplating if I should read the names or not, but I'm not going to read the names. I'm not going to give any spoilers away on this. But the tournament final for the vacant X Division championship takes place at Overdrive as well. And then we have Heath and Rhino defending the Impact Wrestling World Tag Team titles against Brian Myers and Matt Cardona, the major players. The Death Dolls, the Impact Wrestling Knockouts World Tag Team Champions, will be defending against Tasha Steeles and Savannah Evans. And then we have a grudge match, Bully Ray against Moose. So those 5 matches have been announced for Overdrive, which is November 18th, 2022. It's going to be on Fight TV. You can get it on Impact Plus, and you can get it on YouTube Ultimate Insider subscription. Okay, so that's it. That's it. Felt good being back, and I'm gonna be doing this as often as I can. I'm thinking maybe three podcasts a week on Impact Wrestling, maybe some updates as well, some news updates. But I think that's the plan going forward. But until I'm back, thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye, and stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye bye.